How does the Blake Snell signing going to the Dodgers impact the rest of the free agent market moving forward? So like who missed out? Like who wanted Snell, who didn't?
I would say the Red Sox are the team that is probably affected the most. Maybe Atlanta, right? If they think that, all right, Fried's going to sign somewhere else, we need somebody to fill that ace void for us.
But I don't think they were ever going to play at that level. Like, I don't think the Braves, they're trying to get under the luxury tax. And I don't think the starter that they end up adding is going to be in the $182 million.
I just mean
range.
in terms of like, you need somebody to fill. Who's going to be the ace of the Braves staff?
Chris Sale. You just won the Cy Young.
But you need more than one.
Yeah, Spencer Strider's coming back. Spencer Schwellenbach was amazing. Like I think that
how many innings is Spencer Strider even going to pitch? Like it's the Shohei argument, right? He pitches 120 innings.
Of course. I think if they add Walker Buehler, I like that rotation. I don't think they need to play at the top, if that makes sense. I think the Red Sox 100% have to play at the top, and I think that this is great news for Max Fried. Max Fried is a left-handed pitcher, younger than Blake Snell, better at run prevention, not as dominant in terms of missing bats. Do you think Fried goes above this or below this?
How old is Max Fried?
I believe Max Fried is 30. Yes.
All right. So Blake signed this at 32.
So Max Fried will be pitching in his age 31 season next year. Blake Snell will be pitching in his age 32 season next year. So he's just 1 year younger.
If Fried signed for 185,
but it would be another year. Like it would be a similar total dollar value, I think.
So 6 for 190.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think he wins from this. I think the Red Sox are going to have to pivot. I'm interested in which way they pivot. Like, I think for the Red Sox, and I've talked about the Red Sox a lot recently, they have a lot of things that they could do to have a big offseason, right? Like, I know Soto is the thing on the shelf for everybody, but if you sign now Max Fried and you go get Tanner Scott, right? And then Teoscar, hey, that's a nice offseason for you. Or let's say they have the prospects to do it. Go get Garrett Crochet from the Chicago White Sox, and then maybe you have enough prospect capital to trade for Devin Williams or something like that. Like, there are moves for the Red Sox to make where missing out on Snell isn't the end of the world. But
absolutely,
you can't strike out again where your fan base that's already like, they're never going to, like, I've had Red Sox fans in my comments always like, they're not going to do anything, and our ownership group doesn't spend. Well, they're the fans. They're actually a big market that have the fans that you're talking about.
But the fans are right, dude. Like,
I get it.
Last winter, that ownership group said they were going to go full throttle, and then they just kind of went to sleep. And so the Red Sox leadership talking a big game again rings hollow until they do something. I said this in the last episode. You know the Teddy Roosevelt saying? Speak softly, carry a big stick. The Red Sox are hollering into that night and carrying a very small carrot. Okay? Because until they do, I will not believe them. I just will not believe them. Now, I do think that they will probably end up spending some money this winter. They kind of have to. But they should just shut up until they do it, is kind of where I'm at. Another team, huge loser, the San Francisco Giants. For a variety of reasons. Blake Snell played for you last year. Now he plays for your biggest rival. You are downsizing, having just let go of an executive that you took from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Farhan Zaidi. You have brought in Buster Posey to infuse grit and a winning attitude and a mentality into your franchise. But boy, they are playing eighth fiddle to the Dodgers. The imbalance here is striking.
The same issues that the Giants had when Farhan was president of baseball ops, they're still having, where how do you lure a big time top of market free agent to San Francisco?
You pay him a lot.
They're now in a position like a small market team where they're going to have to overpay to get somebody to come play for the Giants. And I feel like their pendulum has swung from, they went super analytical, super new age baseball when they brought in Farhan. And I feel like bringing Buster in as president of baseball ops and some of the people that he's brought in, whether it's Jeff Berry is agent at CAA for a long time, and bringing back Bobby Evans, like it feels like there's the pendulum swinging back to now we need to give it back to old school baseball.
But it's just not an attractive place to be. Now, okay, so let's be real. Baseball dudes don't want to play in San Francisco. They don't. Right. We could talk about the reasons why downtown San Francisco has changed since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. That is like 0.5% of the reason, and it dominates kind of a larger chunk of the pie. But players believe it. They do. And so it matters in terms of the team's ability to get people there. It's not attractive, it's not as attractive as the Dodgers, right? And the juxtaposition there is crazy because you want to go play for the Dodgers, best development staff at the big league level, beautiful place to live, right? Team that's consistently good. The Giants can't compete with any of those things right now. And so they need to find a way to make players want to go there. And I'll just quickly shout out, this is kind of an odd reason to do that. Like the Seattle Mariners, guys don't necessarily want to sign there because of how far away it is and the travel and whatever. The Mariners have done everything that they possibly can on the pitching side to make that an attractive place for pitchers to go sign. Same thing with like Cleveland or Tampa. If you sign with them, you know that you're going to go there and get better and learn some new things, and it's going to help your career moving forward. The Giants need to kind of brand themselves along that lines because they're certainly not bringing anybody in with any of the other stuff they have going on.
See, I think they are in that vein. Like, I think you can go there as a starting pitcher and you see the guys they've had over the last couple of years, the veteran starters that go there and then they have a sub-4, a 3.5 ERA. I think when it comes to starting pitching, I'm not worried about the Giants. But I am worried about the Giants when it comes to like who is going to drive in runs, who's going to get on base, who's going to hit the ball at the ballpark for your franchise, because we've been having now the same conversation for years. Like it's a problem that the last 30 homer hitter you've had was Barry Bonds. That's a big problem. We're about to go into year of our Lord 2025. That can't keep happening. And so you miss out on Judge, where you did try to overpay, still said no. I don't know what it takes for them. And maybe Buster, because he's a former player that this generation of players knows as, oh, that was a dude. Maybe that helps you in the conversation where it didn't with Farhan, right? Where Farhan was maybe perceived as you're an analyst, you're a numbers guy, and you're very names on a spreadsheet, where Buster's going to get, hey man, this is how you win. And when we won the World Series, and get into like players buy into that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps them. But similar to your argument for the Red Sox, I can't believe it until I see it from the Giants, right? You could talk all you want about, hey, we want to go back to the glory years when winning was priority here in San Francisco. I get it. And it's a franchise with a lot of history when it comes to winning. But I just don't know what their plan is to get that back.